Welcome to the session number 2 on Vedic Sandhya, meaning and practice. Yeah, just trying to get our PowerPoint file. Yes, that's the title of the course Vedic Sandhya, meaning and practice. Last week we discussed our as my non physical consciousness, that is a tiny entity somewhere in my head region that has three powers: ability to act, ability to know, and ability to experience, namely karma, jnana, and bhog. In these dimensions, in the dimension of action and knowledge, I am limited, of course. Even in the dimension of experience, I am limited, and there is a duality also that indicated by plus and minus. So TC stands for my tiny consciousness, and my ability of action, knowledge, and experience has quantitatively is limited, and qualitatively it has a dipole. It can be good actions or bad. It can be correct knowledge or incorrect knowledge. And when it comes to experiences, I may experience joy as well as pain in my life. On the other hand, this large infinite universe that is inhabited by infinite consciousness. Patanjali has given the term, even Kapil in Sankhya have borrowed the same term, Ishwar. Kapil has used the term Brahma also in Sankhya uh, for this term Ishwar, this infinite consciousness. And that is, has doesn't need anybody's assistance for action, and all his actions are for the benefit of all other all the tiny consciousness in the universe. This knowledge is also unlimited in the sense, based on its knowledge, the universe has been created. So there is nothing more to be known than what is it the knowledge bank of Ishwar is. And when it comes to experience, he is what is called Ananda Swarup, always in absolute happiness. Now, as far as we are concerned, we are here. We cannot equal, we cannot become equal to these characteristics in the dimensions of action and knowledge, but we can have a taste of this, and that is feasible by way of being with him. That's the term upasana. So if I am with him for a moment or so, I get a taste of what this is. And I indicated last time the upasana related coverage of Vedas has been done properly by Kapil in Sankhya and Patanjali in Yoga. That is a statement by Maharishi Dayananda in Rigvedadi Bhashi Bhumika, Introduction to the Commentary on the Vedas. Towards the last part of his book, he has a chapter on Pratijna Vishaya. What are careful considerations he will maintain as he initiated the commentaries on the Vedas. So, in that chapter, he has made this reference that Upasana coverage of Vedas is existing in Sankhya written by Kapil and in the book on Yoga by Patanjali. So last time we looked at Patanjali's prescription of Ashtanga Yoga, and I also tried to show you correlations in Vedic Sandhya, how various Vedic mantras in the Vedic Sandhya correlate with the Ashtanga Yoga. So this much we had discussed last week. Let's move further today. Today I want to make some preliminary remarks on Upasana and Sandhya, and that is nothing but recitation of the Gayatri Mantra. That is a statement by Manu that I will show you in the next slide. So the principal purpose of Vedic Sandhya is, as we have seen last week, towards the end we recite Gayatri Mantra. That itself is actually Sandhya, the recitation of Gayatri Mantra. But of course, we have a long scheme of other mantras, and we have seen that they correlate with the Patanjali's Ashtanga Yoga. So they are precursor to the climax of Patanjali's Ashtanga Yoga. They let us go in meditation, and finally, when I am at the climax, I recite Gayatri Mantra. So that is what we have discussed last week, and today we will see in a more specific manner. After some of these preliminary remarks, we will look into the meaning of the Gayatri Mantra because that is the central part of the Sandhya. And then we will recite the Gayatri, we will recite the Sandhya again as we did last time. So, as we said, and I made this mention last week also, Maharishi Dayanand in the second principle of Ayasmaj, he lists all the attributes and characteristics of Ishwar, Sachidanand Swarup, etc. And at the end he says, उसी की उपासना करनी योग्य है. We should desire, indeed, this is almost mandatory, that we must be with him. Most of the translators have translated the term upasana as worship, but I don't want to do it that way. So I will take the literal meaning of upasana, that is being with him. So his statement, "Usi ki upasana karni yogya," can be translated as we should be with him and only with him on a daily basis. And at another occasion, he says that we should devote, at least his words are, न्यूनतम प्रातः 1 घंटा और सायंकाल 1 घंटा उसकी उपासना करनी चाहिए. So minimum we should devote 1 hour in the morning and 1 hour in the evening to be with Ishwar. These are his guidelines. So that's what is motivating us to look at this very important component of our life, namely Ishwar Upasana, in a very serious manner. I am of the view that there will be very, very few people who are doing Ishwar Upasana properly. And even if they are doing properly, they are probably not devoting adequate time to that. And this probably is a principal reason why human quality is not developing properly. Because if Ishwar is our role model, I must be with him for a while to be energized with that inner subtle energy, and that only will make my life in a loftier dimension. So, this is very important, and that was the thrust of this course. So let's make these observations. Upasana, as we have said, is to be with Him. Uh, this is a compound word, up and asan, to sit or to be nearby with somebody. Of course, that's why I have already made this remark. We will, even if we just say merely upasana, we will always mean Ishwar upasana, to be with Ishwar. And of course, a common man can ask, Ishwar is a all pervading entity, so that infinite consciousness is existent everywhere, is all pervading. Then how can it be away from me? How can anybody be away from Ishwar if something, namely Ishwar, is all pervading, is everywhere, omnipresent? If it is so, then nothing can be away from Ishwar. That is a valid observation, but we are a tiny consciousness, so it goes along with our principal attribute that at a given moment I am with one thing and one only one thing. So, given that I have the instruments of body and mind, and anything I do with my body is through my mind, namely, it's a serial connectivity, so to say. I am first connected to my mind and then to my body and then to the external world. So, my consciousness, the closest instrument to it is my mind. And that is aggregate mind. And on some other occasions, we have seen the particular component of mind that is closest to me is called as buddhi and also called as chitta. That is what is closest to me. That's like my desktop. I am always watching it. So, as I am always watching my chitta or buddhi, of course, I am connected to my chitta or buddhi, my mind as such. And then I have no awareness that I am close to Ishwar as well. So, that is the missing link. Though Ishwar is closest to me, but because I am connected to my mind, I am unaware of the fact that I am with Ishwar. So, Upasana, that's why we are saying the next line is flows from what I was saying. The necessary condition to be with Him is to disconnect from mind. If I disconnect from my mind, then I have the awareness that Ishwar is close to me. Otherwise, I am not. And that is applicable in day to day life also. If you are seeing something very intently, then something else, not too far away, is not visible to you because you are focused on one particular object. So, this is not something we are not aware of. If I am watching something closely, then I miss out the sound. If I am hearing something closely, then I am not able to notice something. So, these things we are aware of in the external world, that I am connected to one thing at a time. So, if I am connected to my mind, then obviously I am not aware of other entity, namely Ishwar, though he is closer to me than my mind is. Of course, even the fact that I am connected to my mind and all those intricate instruments are working because he is making sure that it is working. He is there and ensuring that everything is working. So he is closer to me than anything, but I am not aware of it that because I am connected to my mind. That's what has been put here. The necessary condition, or I could say necessary and sufficient condition to be with him is to disconnect from mind. And then, of course, the next statement is also very obvious. Before I disconnect from mind, it must be inactive, and that state is called dhyan meditation. Our disengagement from any system, if I am at this point connected to my mind, I cannot just as a jerk disconnect from it. Before that, I must bring it to a thoroughly inactive state. So I like to give the example of a car. I am driving a car, and if I want to disconnect from it, I must stop the car at a right kind of a place, then open the door and come out of it. So if the car is moving, I cannot disconnect from it. So this is something we are familiar with in our day-to-day life. Disengagement from any system is feasible only if that system has been brought to a inactive phase, and then I can disengage in a proper manner. So that applies to my mind also, that I must bring my mind to a thoroughly inactive state, and that is what is the purpose of meditation. So meditation is a necessary condition for success in upasana. If my mind is functioning, I cannot imagine I can be with him. Of course, this term dhyan in Indian background has been very confusing because this term is used in day to day life also. So, a few words are necessary. That's why there is a lot of confusion. Usually, when we use the term dhyan, we mean paying attention to something. Like, may I have your attention, please? कृपया ध्यान दीजिए. Or I may ask my child to concentrate in his studies, then we say dhyan se padho. So these are uses when the term dhyan is more used to apply your mind in a focused manner to some object of interest. But here, dhyan is not translated as attention or concentration, but it is translated as meditation, where my mind must be thoroughly inactive, blank. My mind is blank, and then I am in dhyan meditation. Of course, this may sound as a very opposite meaning of, but it is not that far-fetched meaning. Of course, here the idea is I want to मैं प्रभु का ध्यान करना चाहता हूँ. I want to pay, I want to be lost into Ishwar, and for that to happen. So my focus of interest is now Ishwar. So it is again a kind of being concentrated on an entity, but here the entity is a non physical entity, namely Ishwar. So I want to be focused on Ishwar, and for that purpose, my mind must become blank. So my mind blank is I am in dhyan. Now the dhyan is not of a worldly object, not a material object, but a non physical entity, namely Ishwar. So, this is in the context of Upasana, Dhyan means blank mind, so that mind is not connected to anything, and then I am disconnect from my mind, and then I am with him. Now, once I do the Dhyan properly, that's what brings me to the word Sandhya. Sandhya is with a prefix. In Sanskrit, there are about 22 prefixes called upsarg. So Sandhya is a compound word made out of dhyan with a prefix sam. Sam is for what is called samyak arthe. Samyak arthe. Samyak is well done, properly done. If something is well done, just in a right kind of thing, we say it is samyak. So if dhyan is well performed, properly done, that will become sandhya. And this is a term which has a two kinds of that is called the word is formed out of roots, and the way the words are formed, this is a peculiar word that you can reach out to this word in two methods. So one was it is samyak dhyan. Another way to look at this word is sandhi vela. So it has this word has two kinds of meanings which are interrelated, so to say. Sandhi vela is like confluence of day and night, which is happening in the morning at the sunrise and is happening in the evening when the sun is departing. So these are two times when meditative experience is said to be more effective, more fruitful, and efficient. So the word Sandhya can be derived from well performed meditation that ought to be done in the morning and evening hours. So, this is the meaning of Sandhya. So, we have covered that yes, we are interested in Upasana, and Upasana is uh, requires disconnection from my mind, and that requires training or tuning your mind so that all its perturbations, fluctuations, all kinds of its activities, including conscious thinking, everything is thoroughly wiped out, is absolutely non existent. I also want to do, yes, Sandhya is what we did last week and we will do again. But the core of Sandhya is the recitation of the Gayatri Mantra, and we are seeing that one statement from Manu. It is second chapter, 104th shloka. Apam samipe niyato netyakam vidhimastita savitti mapyadhita galvayanyam samahita. This statement is saying you should go near a water body and every day, and you should position yourself. So it is talking about space and time parameters. You should have a natural, beautiful area, and what you should do is Savitri Mantra. Savitri Mantra is another name for what is more well known as Gayatri Mantra. That is what should be recited in a proper manner, samahita. That recitation is not just by in a oral manner, but you are fully immersed into it. You are fully immersed into it. So that's another. We will devote some more time what recitation actually means. There is a misunderstanding about it. Common man thinks recitation is merely orally reciting something, but I will devote some more discussion on this thing. Recitation is of four, there is a four-fold hierarchy of recitation. We will see once it is oral sound like this at which I am speaking, then it is whispering sound when you speak only to your neighbor and nobody else should be able to hear it. And then it is a mental recitation when no sound comes out, only your lips are moving. And then the fourth is it is not even in your mind. So your mind and body are not reciting, but you are reciting, which is very difficult to visualize. What is that recitation? So in that recitation, the fourth type, that is what is genuine recitation. You are thoroughly lost in that meaning. And of course, the vehicle was body and mind, but now they are not participating, but you are fully lost into it. So, Vedic Sandhya, as we did last time, of course, we recited Gayatri Mantra a couple of times, but then symbolically we went into a silent phase. So, that is a symbolically, we are saying now those words are not in my mind, But whatever is its meaning and not even meaning, its deep essence, I am, I, me, the owner of my body and mind. I am now fully immersed into it. I am lost into it. And when that is the situation, then my mind and body have nothing to do. And that's what is Upasana. So you will see Upasana and this recitation, all these converge at a point. So finally, it is something which is indescribable, and that's what we want to achieve. So Vedic Sandhya is basically, and the last time I have tried to say that, of course, this is preceded by a set of other 14, 15 mantras, but I was trying to emphasize, and I tried to correlate it with the Ashtanga Yoga, that this is a precursor to final meditation and samadhi, that kind of an experience. So this is what we want to say, that core and crux, which I we pointed out last time also, is recitation of the Gayatri Mantra is actually Sandhya, and this is coming from Manu's statement, and recitation should not be misunderstood as a merely reciting orally as if that is Sandhya. So this has to go through four levels of hierarchy: oral sound, whispering sound, mansic mental recitation, and then finally what is called fourth type. This is called para. And as you know, probably, our states are also four types. Namely, we are in wakeful state, that is Jagrat. Then we are in Swapnavastha, that is dream state, when body is not functioning but mind is functioning. And then when body and mind are both are not functioning, but that state has been imposed upon us. We haven't gone there, but an external force, namely Ishwar, has done it. Then that is called as deep, dreamless sleep, Sushupti, when body and mind are non functional. But there is a fourth state, what is called Tuyi Avastha, which is when I have attained that state, and that's what Upasana Yoga is all about, called Tuyi Avastha, the fourth state, when I am conscious, I am aware of, I preserve my awareness, but body and mind wise, I am thoroughly inactive. So, this fourth state and fourth kind of excitation, they resemble each other. So that's what I was saying. Everything converges at that point when we are in Upasana. Okay, very quickly, I go through, as I said, since Gayatri Mantra is the core of Sandhya, I want to give you the meaning of Gayatri Mantra today. And then we'll do Sandhya as we did last time. And then from next week on, I will be taking up one mantra each in the given order of the Sandhya. So, like starting from Om Shanno Devi. Today I could have done the I could have started with the meaning of Om Shanno Devi, but I thought Gayatri Mantra is more appropriate because Sandhya is, as I said, is nothing but Gayatri Mantra only. Okay, let's look at this I have borrowed from Mahesh Dayanand's book called Satyat Prakash. In English translation is Light of Truth. So in his third chapter, he gives the meaning of Gayatri Mantra. So as we are familiar with it, the mantra goes like Om Bhuva Swa Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonah Prachodayat. This mantra in this form is, I should have mentioned it, it is Yajurveda 36th chapter and third mantra. I think I am right in these numbers. 36th chapter and third mantra. And it also appears in Rig Veda and also in Sam Veda. This mantra is available, is to be seen in Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, as well as Sam Veda. Sometimes it is without this, what is called first three terms, namely Bhu Bhuva Swa. It is straight away as Tat Savitu Varenyam. But in this present form, the way we have cited, this is appearing in Yajurveda, 36th chapter. Let's look at the meaning that Maharishi Dayananda has given. Om is the principal name of Ishwar, what he calls as Ishwar ka Nij Naam. This is his principal name. Of course, based on his various attributes, etc., and functions and other characteristics, he has many other names also. The term Bhu means one who is life and support of the whole universe, is dearer than life itself and is self existent. So, Bhu, the root is Bhu Sattayam, that is existence. So, Ishwa is self existent. So are we also. But we are talking here about Ishwa. He is self existent, but existence of many other things, like our existence in the human form, is not of our making, but He has made us in this form. So that is why He is life and support of the whole universe. And indeed, not only that, He sent me into this world in this form as a human being. He is sustaining my life force, what is called as panic forces. So, as we, not even at this moment when I'm speaking, even 24 by 7, particularly when I am in deep sleep, I have no awareness, I have no consciousness, but all our vital non voluntary forces are functioning. That is, He is ensuring that respiratory system, cardiac system, nervous system, all these forces are functioning. So that way, He is sustaining my life. So that is the meaning of who is life and support of the whole universe and is dearer than life itself. Everybody loves his life, but this life is based on the life support forces that are coming from him. That is called pranic forces. So we say he is the prano ka bhi pran hai, because my vital non-voluntary forces are working because of him. So that is what is mentioned as the meaning of the term bhu. It is bhuh, so to say, bhu, but since the next is bhua, it becomes bhua. Otherwise, if you look at it separately, it will be bhu, bhua, swa. These three terms are also his names because of these characteristics that he has. Bhua again is his name, one who himself is free from all sorrows and pain, and whose contemplation wipes off all over pain, miseries, and sorrows. So Bhua is he is absolutely untouched by any kind of pain and suffering, and that is our attempt in Upasana. If I am with him, I will not be touched by any pain or suffering. So one who pervades this multiform universe. I think Swa I have put in the next slide. Yeah, that is better. Swa, one who pervades this multiform universe and is the support of all. This is a correct meaning, of course, but I would like to translate in this context. Actually, this translation is as a footnote by the translator of the Light of Truth. So this is not exactly by Maharishi Dayanand. by the translator of that book. So I may sometime want to intervene and put in my meaning, which I think I feel sometimes may be better. So here I would say swa, which Maharishi Dayanand writes at different occasions, param sukh swarup. So I will borrow that meaning of the term sukh, who was untouched by pain and suffering, but swa means he is always in that saturated state of happiness that cannot be exceeded by any force. So just imagine a sort of happiness that is at its climax and that never diminishes and that cannot be increased by any means. That state of happiness or blissfulness is called as swa. That is his characteristics. And in the context of upasana, that is very important because in my life, as we have seen in the very first slide, you know, I cannot improve upon my action and knowledge that much. But when it comes to my experience, I want to taste that supreme highest level of happiness, joy. That is what is swa, and that is what is the motivation to go in upasana to have a taste of that, of which we get a distant taste in deep, dreamless sleep. So that is what is the objective of upasana. That's why I would like to translate swa as that Ishwar is blissful. And when I am with him, I will get a taste of that. When I am with him, I don't get to know, become a omniscient. When I am with him, I don't become omnipotent, so to say. But when I am with him, I get a taste of that absolute blissfulness, that anand, what is called. So this first term is very important. That's why I wanted to translate it what is more appropriate in this particular context. So we have covered Om Bhur Bhuva Swaha. That was like we are addressing that Ishwar. You are Om, you are Bhu, you are Bhuva, you are Swa. Then comes a, then there are three smaller sentences, what is called Kandika, and all this form about 24 syllables. That is why it is called as Gayatri meter. And those three part statements are about 8 syllables each. So after this Om Bhu Bhuva Swa, the real statement is beginning from the practitioner, like I am, and I am saying something. What am I saying? Tat Savitur Varenyam. That is one statement I am making. Then I will say Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi. Then the third one is Dhyo Yona Prachodayat. So now we want to look at those first of the three mini statements. Tat Savitur Varenyam. Savitu is in what is called genitive, Shashti, and Tat Savitu coming with Varenyam, this this aspirated sound, wow, this is called, this is becoming Tat Savitur Varenyam. So these are the rules of Sandhi in Sanskrit. Don't want to get bogged down with this. But what it means is Tat is that, Savitu is he is Savita. Savita is one who gives birth to the universe and to me and the way I have appeared on this in this world. So he is one who is the force that brings the whole world in the present shape as we see it and as I am on this in this world. So he gives birth to us. One who is the maker of the whole world and from whom all power proceeds. Varenyam, one who is all holy and worthy of our adoration. If I were to consciously choose something, then this is the worthiest thing, so to say, most worthy thing, and I would like to select that. Tat is, again, is his name, so to say. It is a pronoun, but this can also have a, this also reflects his name, like Om Tat Sat. So these are certain pronouns, but they are valid names for Ishwar. So Tat Savitur Varenyam. What I am trying to say is, like for a child, a small child, his mother or his father is most adorable. With the entire world on one side, the child will say, I want to be with my mother, I want to be with my father. So that has so much of connectivity for that child that he doesn't want to choose anything else when it comes to choosing between his one of the parents or anything else in the world. That sort of force is in me, and I am telling myself that that Savita is most adorable entity, and I want to be with that Ishwar. Now the other two statements are coming. Bhargo Devasya Dhimai. Why do I want Savita to be adorable? Now we are being more specific. Because when I reach, like a child will say, I want to be with my mother. And if somebody asks, why do you want to be with her? Of course, he doesn't know the answer, but he will laugh at this question because the question is baseless for him. It is so natural for him. He wants to be with his mother, with his father. And he won't let any force on the earth come between him and his mother or father. That is his force of connectivity with it. That same thing we have at the outset stated, Tat Savitur Varenyam. I am so much connected to that Savita Dev that I want to be with her and nothing else. Now, what is the purpose? Why do I want to be with her? If somebody asks me, then I say, Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi. Now, this Dev's word is also in Shashti, genitive, and it goes along with that Savita. But the beauty is the way they are placed. Even here, I can make an independent sense out of the meaning. So, Devasya Bharga. This is Shashti, and what am I? Dhimahi is a kind of I want to behold something, as if I want to go to my mother and I want to get a gift. She will gift me something. So, what is that? That is that Devasya Bharga. Again, it is Bharga, but because of that, it becomes Bhargo. Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi. That original term is Bharga. Bharga is one who is himself pure by nature and purifies others, who is all intelligence. This is a meaning which I will borrow more or less the same meaning. And Maharishi Dayanand at one place says, Anant Chaitanya Swarup. That is the meaning of Bharga. But I like this term. This is also very good. All intelligence. I will say this is a force that gives rise to enlightenment. So we all have a intellect, that buddhi, which we are talking about, that I want to bring down all its operations, yoga chitta vritti nirodha, to be in meditation, and then I will be in upasana. But of course, when I am not in upasana, on day to day experience, then I am functioning through my buddhi, my intellect, my intellectual faculty. That is the most powerful force in the world, the human intellect. But even there, if there is inner darkness, then I am sometimes uh, undecided. I cannot resolve the situation. I am unable to decide what to do. Or sometimes I am I find myself going in the wrong directions too, in the because of an incorrect, wrong understanding, missing knowledge or ignorance or whatever it is. So, if my intellect has the right kind of inner light, inner knowledge, so light and knowledge are synonyms in Vedic philosophy because that's what is knowledge. If I am enlightened properly, then I will be functioning much better in my human life. That is the point we everybody knows. Even the common man will agree. Our life will be of a better quality if my intellectual power is better, if I am a more enlightened person. So, what am I seeking to be with her? That cosmic mother. I want to be enlightened by Bharga of that supreme being. That is the statement Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi. So my intellectual faculty will be more enlightened. The moment I am with her, I am borrowing her light of Bharga and my intellectual faculty will be enlightened. But it is not just for that moment because once Upasana is over, I will come back to the real world, and that's what is very well defined in Dhiyo yo na prachodaya. Dhiyo, yah becomes yo. Dhiyo yo na prachodaya. May guide or may inspire my intellect. I was saying always in singular, my, but actually it is in plural, our. So our intellect, our intellectual faculty is inspired by that entity. That is the meaning of Dhiyo Yona Prachodaya. Not only that, when I am in Upasana, I will be enlightened. When I come back to the real world, my intellectual faculty will be in inspirational mode and I will function more as an inspired person than what I was today. That is the meaning of Gayatri Mantra. So, by reciting Gayatri Mantra, we are not asking for any physical, any material advantage, but we want very that proximity, that closeness, so that I get the taste of what Swa is. He has already equipped me with Bhu, that I am existent, and we are by very design, by his design, as we live in this world, our most basic instinct is survival instinct. That even as a human being, I want to exist. I want to continue to live in this world. It is very difficult for one to commit suicide because that is against our natural survival instinct. You have to plan it very hard to be able to commit suicide because it is so much embedded in our mind what is called that powerful survival instinct. That's the way he has passed on his characteristics of Bhu to us. Similarly, when he has sent me into this world, he has passed on his characteristics of Bhua to me. So instinctively, if something is painful, I remove my finger from. Even a child would do that. That sort of instinct is embedded in us. But Swa, that is the core and crux of Upasana, that I can get that Swa also, I am with him. And that is the purpose of Upasana. So when I am in those moments of Upasana, yes, I get a taste of that absolute happiness. And that is itself very raises my confidence because when I come back in the world, then I don't associate objects of pleasure much with happiness. I now evaluate material objects based on my needs and not that they give me any kind of happiness because now I have direct access to the source of absolute happiness within me. So I have become less dependent on material objects. So that is the power of becoming, getting a taste of Swaha. But of course, when I come back, I am not the same person. There are twofold changes in me because I have had a taste of Swa. I evaluate other material objects in a more balanced manner based on their needs and utility, etc. But more importantly, I function as a more enlightened person because I have my intellectual faculty is now inspired by his burger. So two things have happened. I have had a taste of Swa, and my buddhi, my intellect, my mind is now functioning as a more enlightened person. So that is what is the meaning of Gayatri Mantra. Let us now perform the Sandhya. So I will go back to the same website what I did last week. Just want to make sure it is there. Yes. Now we will. I am just ensuring that, yeah, that website is on. I must point out this. The Yeah, here it is mentioned. Yeah. What the point okay. I wanted to say one thing. The mantras here are not absolutely correct, but I didn't want to do the labor. It takes a lot of time to put on these mantras in correct form. So I must say, they are not absolutely correct here, like this first mantra, Shanno Devi, this Sanyura Bhisyavantu. This Bhisya is not well mentioned. This is like Bhisya. It is Bhisya. So they are inaccuracies in this. And much more, this gentleman is putting in the Roman script, this translation is not based on what is, so to say, internationally accepted uh, mechanism scheme. So I have to apologize for this. I may get, if time, maybe someday I will put all these mantras in a proper form. Maybe sometime in the next few weeks. But if I may not be able to do it, I must apologize for that in advance. So I am using this website in a very tentative manner because I don't have easy availability anywhere else. I just couldn't find it easily. But during the next few weeks, maybe I will put all this in a more proper manner. So last week we have recited the Sandhya, and we tried to do it properly. And we said the climax is a citation of the Gayatri Mantra, which we have devoted some time today. And after that, we actually want to be in Upasana, want to be in world of thoughts, absolute world of mental activity. And then, if I am, nothing is happening in my mind, then I am with Him. So, of course, this is at a level of a degree. If you are disconnect from mind 10%, then your upasana is 10%. If you are disconnect, if your mind is inactive by say 60%, then your upasana is 60%. And if your mind is thoroughly inactive, 100% inactive, then you are in 100% upasana. So it is not that you are either in upasana or not in. So you try to do your best. And the tip I have given, which I always give to my students in meditation classes or Patanjali yoga classes, if something is happening in your mind, then you be your judge. What level of mental activity you want to consolidate? And if it is slightly more than that, then you instruct your mind mentally reciting. Oh. So that's my guideline. You always want to lower down the activity level of your mind. So let's see. I want to, I haven't done that screen share with this slide. I was, okay, yeah. So sorry, I didn't share this slide, though I was making some remark. Like this first month, I said, it's not well written here. It is Abhisavantuna. Sa, Sakar, what is called, and then it is Ra. Now here he has made Sakar, then Tya, which is wrong. So, these are inaccuracies here, and this is not by the internationally accepted scheme. Okay, let's move on. We will now recite the Sandhya and we will do the proper Upasana at the after reciting the Gayatri Mantra. And another small thing I will bring in soon in the early part, there is going to be so called Pranayam Mantra. Here, I will make a, I will take a pause. I will recite these mantras, take a pause, and then we will do 3 cycles of simple pranayam. Deep breathe out when our abdomen is shrinking inward, and then deep breathe in when our abdomen is expanding outward. So we will do this each breathing cycle with 2 phases and total 3 cycles. And next week we will improve upon this pranayam. And then probably week after that I will try to explain why these are called as pranayam mantra and how can I integrate these mantras with these pranayam. So we are building up. So today we are adding on simple pranayam with what is called rechak and purak. Rechak is breathe out, purak is breathe in. And then we will next week we will add on kumbhak, so to say. Rechak, bahi kumbhak, purak and abhyantar kumbhak. And then week thereafter, we will add on in Bahi Kumbhak, we should recite mentally Om Bhu, Om Bhuva, Om Swa. And in Abhyantar Kumbhak, we should recite these 3 mantras. So that is the actual way of reciting these so-called pranayam mantras. We should be doing pranayam here. Okay, we are step by step, we are trying to get closer to the Sandhya as it should be done. Here it begins now. ॐ ॐ शन्नो देवी अभिष्टय आपो भवन्तु पीतये संयोभिस्य वन्तु नः ॐ वाक् वाक् ॐ प्राणः प्राणः ॐ चक्षुः चक्षुः ॐ श्रोत्रं श्रोत्रम् ॐ नाभिः ॐ हृदयम् ॐ कण्ठः ॐ शिरः ॐ बाहुभ्यां यशो बलम् ॐ करतल करपृष्ठे ॐ भूः पुनः श्रेयसि ॐ भुवः पुनः नेत्रयो ॐ स्वः पुनः कण्ठे ॐ महः पुनः हृदये ॐ जनः पुनः नाभ्याम् ॐ तपः पुनः पादयोः ॐ सत्यं पुनः पुनः श्रेयसी ॐ खं ब्रह्म पुनः तु सर्वत्र ॐ भूः ॐ भुवः ॐ स्वः ॐ महः ॐ जनः ॐ तपः ॐ सत्यम्. As I said, let's do 3 cycles of pranayama. Here it begins. Deep breathe out, your abdomen shrinking inward. Deep breathe in, your abdomen expanding outward. Second cycle, deep breathe out, deep breathe in, deep breathe out, deep breathe in, Om. ॐ एतं च सत्यं च विद्यात्तपसो अद्य जायत ततो यातिरायत ततः समुद्रो ॐ समुद्रादणवादधि संवत्सरो अजायत अहोरात्राणि विदधद्विश्वस्य मिषतो वशी ॐ सूर्यचन्द्रमसौ धाता यथा पूर्वमकल्पय दिवं च पृथिवीं चान्तरिक्षमथो स्वः ॐ शन्नो देवी अभिष्टय आपो भवन्तु पितये संयोगविश्रवन्तु नः ॐ प्राचीदिगग्निरधिपतिरसितो रक्षितादित्या ईशवः तेभ्यो नमोऽधिपतिभ्यो नमो रक्षितेभ्यो नमः ईशुभ्यो नमः एभ्यो अस्तु योऽस्मान् द्वेष्टियं वयं दुष्मस्तं वो जम्बे दद्मः ॐ दक्षिणादिगिन्द्रो धिपतिस्थिरश्चिराजि रक्षिता पितरीश्वर तेभ्यो नमोऽधिपतिभ्यो नमो रक्षितेभ्यो नमः ईशुभ्यो नमः एभ्यो अस्तु योऽस्मान् द्वेष्टियं वयं दुष्मस्तं वो जम्बे दद्मः ॐ प्रतीचि धिपतिः प्रदाकु रक्षितान् विशवः तेभ्यो नमोऽधिपतिभ्यो नमो रक्षितेभ्यो नमः ईशुभ्यो नमः एभ्यो अस्तु योऽस्मान् द्वेष्टियं वयं दुष्मस्तं वो जम्भे दद्मः ॐ उदीची दिक्सोमो धिपतिः स्वजो यक्षिता शनिषव तेभ्यो नमोऽधिपतिभ्यो नमो रक्षितेभ्यो नम ईशुभ्यो नम एभ्यो योऽस्मान् द्वेष्टियं वयं दुष्मस्तं वो जम्बे दद्मः ॐ ध्रुवादिविष्णुरधिपतिः कर्मा षगीवो रक्षिता वियुधैषव तेभ्यो नमोऽधिपतिभ्यो नमो रक्षितेभ्यो नम ईशुभ्यो नम एभ्यो अस्तु योऽस्मान् द्वेष्टियं वयं दुष्मस्तं वो जम्बे दद्मः ॐ ऊर्ध्वादिबृहस्पतिरधिपतिः श्रुतो रक्षिता वशमिषव तेभ्यो नमो धीपतिभ्यो नमो रक्षितेभ्यो नम ईशुभ्यो नम एभ्यो अस्तु योऽस्मान् द्वेष्टियं वयं दुष्मस्तं वो जम्बे दद्मः ॐ उद्वयं तमसस्पयिष्वः पश्यन्त उत्तरम् देवं देवत्या सूर्यमगन्मज्योतिरुत्तमम् ॐ उदुत्यं जातवेदसं देवं वहन्ति के तव दृशे विश्वाय सूर्यम् ॐ चित्रं देवानामुदगा दनीकं चक्षुरमित्यस्य वरुणस्य नेहेयम् आप्याद्या पृथिवी अन्तरिक्षं सूर्य आत्मा जगतस्तुषश्च स्वाहा ॐ तच्चक्षुर्देवैतं पुरस्तात् शुक्रमुच्चय पश्येम शरदर्शतम् जीवेम शरदर्शतम् शृणुयाम शरदर्शतम् प्रब्रवाम शरदर्शतमदीना श्याम शरदर्शतम् भूयश्च शरदर्शता ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् हे ईश्वर दयानिधे भवत्कृपयानेन जपोपासनादिकर्मण धर्मार्थकाममोक्षाणां सद्य सिद्धिर्भवेन्न। ॐ नमः शम्भवाय च मयोभवाय च नमः शङ्कराय च मयस्कराय च नमः शिवाय च शिवतराय च। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। That was our Vedic Sandhya, and that concludes our second session of the course on Vedic Sandhya meaning and practice. We'll continue from here. See you next week.